a lot of my clients really truly struggle with is this idea of being seen, being heard, and knowing and owning their own self-worth. And so a lot of that really truly comes from the idea of being marginalized in the workplace. Really truly not necessarily having equal access to opportunity to get to wherever it is that they want to be in their chosen careers. Or it could be a matter of basically they're just not treated the same.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the KTS Success Factor podcast for women, where we talk about challenges senior female leaders face in being happy and successful at work. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah E. Brown. So my guest today is Demetria Henderson. She's the CEO and founder of DFH Coaching and Consulting, LLC. Prior to her formally launching this coaching and consulting business, Demetria spent over 15 years in the corporate world. Then she went back to school to earn her Ph.D. in business management. She advocates for equal access to opportunity and fair treatment for all in the workplace. As a coach, she works primarily with marginalized groups in the workplace by providing them with the tools to not only seize opportunities as they arise, but to create opportunities that will advance their careers. As a consultant, she works with organizations to help them in creating and maintaining workplace cultures in which all employees feel included and have a sense of belonging. Demetria has a BS in mathematics, just like me, an MS in organization development, and a PhD in business management. In addition, she's a certified professional coach. Welcome, Demetria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And where in the world are you today?
I am in Harrisonburg, Virginia. That is where I live.
Oh, great. So I am at a client site right now in Wilmington, Delaware, where we got snow squalls all day long. Did you get any today?
We got snow yesterday, but it was a gorgeous day today, or is a gorgeous day today. So stuff is starting to melt already.
Oh, well, terrific. So tell me, in your business, Demetria, what is the biggest challenge you help female leaders face? And give me an idea of the symptoms of this challenge.
I think for myself, one of the things that I really find that a lot of my clients really truly struggle with is this idea of being seen, being heard, and knowing and owning their own self-worth. And so a lot of that really truly comes from the idea of being marginalized in the workplace. Really truly not necessarily having equal access to opportunity to get to wherever it is that they want to be in their chosen careers. Or it could be a matter of basically they're just not treated the same as others. And so a lot of the symptoms that we see with this is that definitely you would think that over an extended period of time, people become a little demoralized. There is that sense of feeling as though they are not respected. In addition to that, what we sometimes see is that people start to sort of withdraw. And that could be physical withdrawal where you're going to have that impact to the organization where people are actually quitting or they're just kind of not showing up to work. Or it could be actually just that mental withdrawal where they might be physically present, but they're not there, right? So in other words, the organization still isn't getting what they want out of that particular individual. And that individual definitely is not being fed the way he or she needs and wants to be fed in order to feel as though they're being that productive, resourceful person, for their, chosen company or corporation.
Wow. Sounds like a pretty demoralizing state of affairs. So what are the biggest mistakes your clients make before working with you to address this challenge?
I don't know if I like the term mistake because it's one of those situations is that with me being a coach, I think that anything that they may have tried prior to maybe getting themselves out of the situations that they find themselves, that's all great learning opportunity. Either it works or it doesn't work, right? And so for me, I don't necessarily view that as a mistake. I just view that as learning opportunity. And so what I really truly find is that really it's this idea of people trying to do it by themselves. They're going solo. They're trying to figure it out all by themselves. And that is, I think, probably the biggest hurdle and struggle that they probably encounter. And so it's one of those things where Myself, working as their coach, I become a part of their support system. But I really truly work with my clients in working to try to identify who or what is their support system, to really truly get them to recognize that everything doesn't have to be perfect. That there is no perfectionism. It's like, we don't have to have all the ducks lined up in a row before we can take any sort of action. And so, and I speak to that from personal experience because I myself consider myself as recovering perfectionist, whereas one of those situations where even now, sometimes I have to check myself, and making sure that I am not inhibiting my own progress by feeling as though I have to have certain things in order just for me to take action. And so really and truly, I really try to work with people and get them to understand that you don't have to do it alone, that it really truly is going to help and be to your benefit when you really truly start to leverage that support system for yourself.
What is a tip, a free tip that you can give my listeners to help them address this challenge now if they're actually experiencing it themselves?
The biggest tip I have, and I guess going along with what I previously just spoke to, I would say it would be that building and that leveraging of their network. It's a free and actionable tip. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. I think a lot of people struggle with that. But I really truly find that your network is really truly going to be one of the key drivers to get some sort of change to start to occur within your actual career, right? For that transformation to take place. And so I really encourage people to really try to start identifying who is currently in my network, and then try to understand, okay, based on where I think I want to go or where I might want to go, who might be the individuals, what might be the resources, what might be the tools that I maybe actually need to start to consider so that maybe I can start to broaden this network so that maybe I might get introduced to new opportunities and things of that nature.
Is there any valuable free resource you can share, particularly with my women listeners, to help them understand this challenge better?
What comes to mind is a book that I read last year. And this is kind of comes from research that I'm familiar with and working through my Ph.D. program and all that other fun stuff. But when we talk about this idea of building networks, a lot of people are under the premise that it's going to be their strongest ties, right? Those people that are going to be closest to them, that those are going to be the ones that they need to reach out to help them really truly achieve some sort of transformation in their career. But research, science tells us that no, it's our weakest ties. And so the idea is that what you want to do is really truly start thinking about who are your friends of your friends. A researcher by the name of David Burkus, he wrote this book, Friend of a Friend. And he really truly hones in on this idea and really truly explaining the idea of the strength of those weak ties. The idea of really truly thinking about, okay, who maybe might be in my network. I maybe haven't talked to them in 6 months or a year, but thinking about that, those might be the individuals that we might need to start reaching out to and branching out to, especially if we're looking for some sort of change. Because when you think about it, the people that are closest to you, for the most part, you guys, for the most part, know the same individuals. You may be hanging in the same sort of corners and things of that nature. But those weak ties, that's new information. That's new resources. That's new knowledge that can come into you. And so that is one of those things. So again, not necessarily a free resource, but I would encourage people to probably check out that book, Friend of a Friend by David Burkus. And it really truly goes into that in a lot more detail.
Friend of a Friend by David Burkus.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So Demetria, what is one question that I should have asked you that would help my audience take action to address this challenge for themselves or for their organization?
I think probably the question that comes to my mind is, what's my process for working with individuals? And answering that, in understanding how I actually work with individuals to help them to really truly transform their careers as well as their lives, is I've developed a framework in which I call the Stuck to Soaring Career System, in which what I do is I identify the various reasons or various places where people may actually be stuck within their career. And then depending on where they are, that's when we start to work with, or I start to work with them in terms of helping them understand, okay, what are the things, what are the priorities that we really truly need to focus on to really truly get you to that next level, to get you to where you want to be. So for example, when I talk about my framework, I have in the quadrant what I call my bystander. So this is that individual that they're stuck. They don't know where they want to go. They're not taking any action. Nothing's happening. Life is just happening to them. They're feeling like, just weighed down and burdened and all that other fun stuff. This is that individual that's probably like, oh God, it's Sunday and Monday is coming tomorrow. That means I got to start the cycle all over again, right? And so they're really truly sort of in that state, but just don't know necessarily how to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And so with individuals like that, it's about really truly making sure that we start to do that background work and trying to figure out, okay, who are you? What are your strengths? What do you want? What do you value? Where do you want to go with this? So really truly helping them to start to identify that clarity in terms of who they are, and then helping them to actually then start putting the steps into place to get to where they are. And so my other quadrants, I don't know how much time we have, but I also have what I call the wanderer. This is that person that they for the most part, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff, but they don't know where they're going. Mm-hmm. So in other words, they're taking action with no clear specific direction. This is that person that might, job hop a lot, just kind of like, just trying out different things, but never necessarily seeing them to the end. Then I have what I call my paralyzed voyager. So this is the individual that they know what they want. There's clarity in terms of where they want to go, but they're just not sure how to get there. And so because of that, they become paralyzed. And so therefore, no action is being taken. And so with individuals like that, it might be a matter of really truly getting them to just try taking those small steps so that they can maybe start to experiment a little bit, and just see, because again, remember I said there are no mistakes, right? It's all just learning opportunities. And so it's about really truly getting into action. And so the end goal is to get to what I call the pioneer. This is that person where they know what they want, they're taking all those actions, they're really truly kind of like, in that particular stage in their career where they're really truly rocking and rolling. And so what I find is that, as individuals, we've all been in each one of those quadrants at various phases of our lives. And so really and truly, like I said, for me as a coach, it's about really truly helping and recognizing where that individual is currently and really truly getting to them to where they want to be through that process that I've developed.
And for my listeners, I met Demetria in an online training session where she introduced this framework, and it is a very good framework. So Demetria, tell people how they can find you to see that and talk about that framework more.
Yeah, so you can reach me on my website is dfhservices.net. I'm also on LinkedIn, and that's just under my name, Demetria Henderson, and I also have a Facebook page, Journey to You, the number 2 actually between the journey and the you. So those are the primary social media platforms that you can find me on. But yeah, so if they go to my website or even to the Facebook page, I also have a link if they actually want to schedule like a free 30-minute session with me, so that we can just kind of hash out some things and maybe have them walk away with one actionable tip that they can put into place based off where they are currently in their
Perfect. Program. And they can get to that on your website, dfhservices.net.
Correct.
Great. Demetria, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the KTS Success Factor podcast for women. If you like what you are hearing, please go to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave a review. And if you would like more information on how we can help women in your organization to thrive, then go to www.sarahebrown.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, read show notes, and learn more about our podcast guests, read my blog, browse through the books, or contact us for a chat. Goodbye for now.